Hello. If you've clicked on this video, then I'm guessing that you want to learn more about the 5 mistakes that kept me binge eating, right? So if you're expecting a video about how to find the right bed for you, binge eating disorder, get it? Yep, that's just my crappy sense of humour. Then you're kind of in the wrong place. But what I am going to be talking about is how to recover from binge eating disorder bed by avoiding the 5 mistakes that kept me stuck. And by the way, when I talk about binge eating, I do also mean stress eating, emotional eating, comfort eating, in fact, any kind of eating where you feel out of control and like food is completely taking over your life. Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about the 5 colossal mistakes that I made when it came to binge eating. Those colossal mistakes that kept me stuck in that endless loop of binging and hating myself. And once you understand these 5 big mistakes, you will be able to move forwards and get food freedom. So let's jump right in. Okay, mistake number 1 was thinking that it was dieting that I needed. And yep, I fell into that trap that so many people with food issues do, thinking that dieting is what's needed. But actually, dieting doesn't look at the root cause, it only treats the symptoms. I needed to understand why I was overeating in the first place. And until I looked at that, I was just going to kind of stay in that constant binge restrict cycle. But when I started to look at the reasons why I was using food to self-medicate, that is when things became a whole lot easier to resolve. And one of those reasons was that I wasn't moving on from past trauma. So there we go, we move on to mistake number 2, is not moving on from past trauma. Okay, I knew I had a lot of past trauma in my life, so I was kind of in and out of therapy, not realising that that was exactly what was keeping me stuck. The whole time I was going over that pain, I was reliving it, and of course I needed to feel better, and food was there, it was giving me comfort in those moments. Until the penny dropped for me that I had to move on from that past pain and that therapy wasn't the way to do it, I was always going to use binging to help me. And I was always going to stay in that perpetual cycle of binging, hating myself, that self-loathing, which brings us nicely on to mistake number 3. Mistake number 3, self-loathing and hate. You know, the whole time I hated myself, the whole time I had that self-loathing, I was never, ever going to move on from binge eating. You know, that binge eating, overeating, it takes away that pain. So I had to start to build a much better, healthier kind of relationship with me. I had to get rid of the stories that I'm not good enough, I don't matter, I don't deserve happiness. The amount of time and wasted energy I spent on self-loathing was unbelievable. This negative mindset, it didn't only just fuel my binge eating episodes, but it kept me from breaking free, because the whole time I had that pain in my head, and I'm sure you can all resonate with this, that pure pain, I would always need food to calm it all down. And you know, part of that self-hatred also came from wanting that perfect body shape, which leads me on to mistake number 4, wanting the perfect body shape. Because, spoiler alert, there is no perfect body shape, and you will tie yourself in knots trying to get it. The things we see in the media, the things we see online, it's all airbrushed, it's unrealistic expectations. We can't live up to them. So until I really started to embrace me exactly as I am, I would always stay in that unhealthy food cycle. And finally, mistake number 5 for me was being a people pleaser. And I'm sure loads of you can relate to everything that I've said so far. And in particular, this one. And actually, just drop in the comments if this does resonate with you. People pleasing and food issues often go hand in hand. I see it in my clients all of the time. What happens is that we become people pleasers because we don't believe we're good enough. So we please in order to try and get some recognition. But when that doesn't come, we please even more. We put ourselves out, we try harder and harder to prove that we're good enough. And then there's this passive aggressiveness that goes on in the mind, and it just becomes so painful. So we use food to help take away that pain and calm everything down. A chaotic mind will always equal chaotic eating. So I had to work backwards and get rid of the belief that I'm not good enough so I could stop the people pleasing and therefore have a nice calm, happy mind rather than all of that resentfulness, which would always lead to food to make things feel better. Understanding these 5 mistakes really was a huge game changer for me. It really did pave the way for genuine progress and food freedom. And it can be the same for you too. It really can. Watch this video back and really understand the things that I'm saying to you. Oh, and also do me a favour, hit the like and subscribe button as well, please. I'd be hugely grateful. And even share this video with somebody who might be struggling. When you've got food issues and you start to understand these things, it makes a huge difference, believe me. Breaking free from these 5 mistakes played a key role in my recovery. That inner work that you do, it equals outer success, and no more bloody dieting. So come on, what is not to love about that, right? No more dieting.